The financial sector in Grenada is faced with a number of challenges, one of which is forced compliance to regulations imposed by foreign banking systems. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell explained this while responding to concerns about the banking hours during Wednesday's town hall meeting at the Westerhall Secondary School.
So banks are being made to comply, and in my view, they are overzealous in their desire to comply with rules that are imposed on us by Americans and Europeans when it comes to our banking sector. That's the truth. All of these paperwork, the compliance, the over-compliance, the 10 pieces of ID, the wanting to know whether you have a utility bill, the reference letter, all of that is rules that are imposed upon us by organizations in North America, in Europe, that says, quote unquote, they are trying to prevent anti-money laundering, anti-terrorism financing, etc., etc. But you can go to Canada and open a bank account in 5 minutes. You can go to North America and open a bank account in 5 minutes.
According to the Prime Minister, the exorbitant requirements, that is proof of address, multiple forms of identification, etc., from financial institutions have become a detriment to the people having trouble meeting all of the requirements or those not bothering to go through the tedious process.
They have deliberately tried to brand us as high-risk financial destinations and make it very difficult for our own people to become banked. There are a significant number of persons living in the region who are unbanked, which means they do not have a bank account, because it's impossible for them to open one. So if you're a fisherman in Guava and you live in your mother's home and you're going out to fish and you come back, they want proof of where you live. Well, it's your mother's house, so the water bill, the electricity bill is in her name. So what proof would you have? And what that means is then it leaves you out of the banking system, so you just spend the money. You spend the money, you have no savings, you have no credit history, you can't get a loan, you can't get a mortgage, and then what? You are already sowing the seeds of, and by the time you're 40, 50, 60, fishing is hard work. You have no savings, you have no retirement, you have no investment.
Prime Minister Mitchell explained the consequences of local and regional banks not complying with the foreign requirements. He said this is where financial literacy comes into play.
We as citizens of the Caribbean have to understand those things and be prepared to support our governments. Our universities and so on need to be able to be talking about those things, because our banks face what they call de-risking. Most transactions are carried out in US dollars, which means you have to have a relationship with a US bank in order to send and receive foreign monies and so on. And they are threatening to not allow our banks to have relationship with foreign US banks. And if that happens, it basically means you're locked out of the international financial system.
Commercial banks in the Caribbean saw long-standing banking relationships terminated due to the perception that financial activity with the Caribbean is high risk. De-risking refers to the restriction of correspondent banking relationships or business services from major global banks to certain jurisdictions due to concerns over money laundering or potential involvement in the financing of terrorist activities. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.